You're listening to the Shaun of the South podcast, brought to you by Food City, dedicated to providing you, their valued customer, with top quality products at the best value every day. From certified Angus beef to locally grown produce and in-store made baked goods, nobody does food like Food City. Find a store conveniently located near you at foodcity.com. Shaun of the South starts now. In light of the critical world events taking place in the news, I know many of you are anxious to know more about my dogs. I'll start with Marigold, our blind coonhound. Right now, Marigold is barking outside. It is 5 o'clock in the morning, and the whole neighborhood can hear Marigold. The whole neighborhood always hears Marigold. The whole neighborhood absolutely loves us. And even though I stand outside barefoot, saying, "Shh, go potty, dang it," Marigold ignores me and sniffs the backyard, smelling each individual blade of grass until she finally selects the same peeing location she has used for the last 13,290 consecutive mornings. The voice of a baying coonhound is hard to miss. It is a sustained, low tenor, powerful enough to change the migratory patterns of waterfowl. The strangest things, I find, excite her. She is always getting worked up, for example, whenever anybody says, "all right." We don't know how this started. We think perhaps "all right" is a verbal cue we say the moment before we get up to feed the dogs. "All right," someone might shout, rising off the sofa. Either way, this word has been embedded in Marigold's consciousness, which makes it challenging for us to, for example, have a simple conversation. Because the moment you utter the very commonplace word, "all right," tiny bits of ceiling plaster start falling like rain, and many of the neighbors are already putting their houses on the market. We have two other dogs, too. Thelma Lou, who's a bloodhound, who weighs upwards of 100 pounds, standing at 17 hands tall, with paws the size of Volkswagens. She is Marigold's seeing eye sister. Marigold follows Thelma Lou everywhere, keeping close beside her, imitating Big Sister. Whenever Thelma Lou sits on the sofa, Marigold sits on the sofa. Whenever Thelma barks, Marigold barks. Whenever Thelma rolls around on a dead squirrel carcass in the backyard, Marigold helpfully brings the carcass into the kitchen for future use. Also, we have Otis, who is an alleged Labrador, who weighs about as much as a Peterbilt dump truck. Otis often stares at the female dogs in much the same way you might look at alligators who are eating live chickens. I think he's afraid of them. Because both dogs are female, and this is a biologically true fact, females are bat excrement crazy. Most of the time, however, Otis just sits beside me, looking up at me as though he's saying, "Help, I'm surrounded by girl dogs." So anyway, our dogs are all very sweet. In fact, they're the sweetest I've ever known. And we have no children, so they've become like our children. I realize this makes me somewhat pathetic, but I don't care. We have a home full of love, peace, the occasional flea infestation, and of course, lots of noise. All right, all right, all right. Well, thanks for listening to Shaun of the South. I've been your host today, Sean Dietrich, and it has been a true privilege. To find out anything more about what I do, you can visit SeanDietrich.com, or for those who are not particularly good spellers, you can visit SeanOfTheSouth.com, and there you can find out all sorts of information that you didn't know you didn't need to know about me. And while you're there, I hope you take the time to drop me a line. Tell me what's important to you. Tell me what's going on in your life. I'd like to hear it. And in case anyone hadn't told you today already, I love you. Now go say that to somebody else. Have a great day.